Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this chevron mesh skirt. It's a maxi length, but you can make it to any length of your choice. And in this image it's paired with a bouquet crochet top that already has a tutorial as well, and the written pattern for the top is also available on all my online shops. So the written pattern for the skirt is also available, and all the links will be in the description box below. So let's jump right into the materials. Alright, so for the materials you will need yarn, any yarn of your choice. I'm using Winter King, it's a 4-ply acrylic yarn, and I'm using a 4mm crochet hook, and then a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, and a darning needle to weave in your ends. So let's begin. We're going to start off with our foundation chain, and your foundation chain should be a multiple of 30. So for me, I'm going to start off with my multiple of 30 for this project is 270. So you're going to start off with a slip knot. For the different sizes, just check on the screen and you'll get what to do. So you're going to start off with a slip knot and you're going to make your foundation chain. And you're going to make sure that your chain is not twisted. And then you're going to slip stitch into the very first chain to create a loop or a round, a circular loop. So you can see this is really long, and if I'm to take a measurement, I have a total of, I'm going to take it while stretching and while folding into half. And if I slightly stretch, I have a total of 40 inches across. That means this is a total of 80 inches altogether. But since we are going to work in a chevron pattern or chevron stitch, it will shrink. So basically what you have to make sure you get is your hip circumference when folded into half. So the fact that I've already joined into a round, we're considering 40 inches across times 2, because you're considering this side and this side. And yeah, once you get that, make sure the chain that you decide to make is twice your hip circumference. So from here, you are going to make a chain of 5. This is round 1. So the chain of 5 counts as 1 double crochet and chain 2. After that, you're going to skip 2 chains and double crochet into the next. Just like that. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next chain. So you're going to repeat that until you have a total of 3 spaces. So let's go ahead, chain 2, and into the you're going to skip over 2 chains, and into the next chain you're going to place 1 double crochet. And now we're going to create the fun stitch, the fun pattern. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the same exact chain, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the same, chain 2, and 1 double crochet into the same chain. So we've placed a total of 4 double crochets, and it has created a total of 1, 2, and 3 spaces. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then the fun pattern. So from here you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains and double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains and double crochet into the next. So after the increase here, which is supposed to be the peak, we have a total of 1, 2, and 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. and then it's time for us to create a valley. So you're going to make a chain of 2, and then you're going to skip over 11 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and then into the next chain, which is the 12th chain, you're going to place a double crochet there. So we're going to repeat what we have on this side. So chain 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next chain. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next chain. So those are 2 spaces after the valley, and we are aiming for 3. So chain 2, skip 2 chains, and this chain 2 is going to become the 3rd space before the peak, before the next peak. So you're going to skip over 2 chains, and then we are going to create a peak. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same chain, chain 2, double crochet into the same chain, chain 2, and double crochet into the same chain. So that is creating 4 double crochets into the same exact chain, but creating 3 spaces, 3 chain 2 spaces. And then you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and double crochet into the next. And that will give us 3 chain 2 spaces after the peak, after the fan stitch here. So 1, 2, and 3, and it's time for us to create our valley. So you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over 11 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and into the 12th you're going to place your double crochet there. So that's the repeat for this round. I'm going to go all the way around doing peaks and valleys, and I'll be back to show you how to wind up. Alright guys, so we've come to the end, and you should be left with after this last peak, you should be left with after the 3 spaces, the 3 chain 2 spaces, should be left with 11 chains here. So you're going to make a chain of 2 and slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 5 of the round. So slip stitch there like that. So this marks the end of round 1, and I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 peaks all together. So we're going on to round 2, and this is going to be our repeat round. You're going to slip stitch into the next chain 2 space 2 times, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch into the next chain 2 space once, and then you're going to make a chain of 5, then double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, and this should bring us to the middle space of the 3 spaces that we created for our previous fan. So we have this one, and this one. So you make a chain of 2, which will create the 3rd space. You see, 1, 2, and then this is supposed to be the 3rd. All right, so into this middle space, you're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the same exact space, chain 2, double crochet into the same space, chain 2, and double crochet into the same space. So we've created another 3 spaces, literally 4 double crochets, but it creates 3 spaces in between. and then you're going to make a chain of 2, double crochet into the next chain space, chain 2, double crochet into the next space, chain 2, double crochet into the next. So we've created, after the fan stitch or the increase here, we're going to have 3 spaces here, and then you're going to make a chain of 2, and you're going to skip over the next chain 2 space and the next one and the next one, and then prepare for a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain 2 space you're going to place a double crochet. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, and this will bring us to the exact middle of the previous fan. So you're going to make a chain of 2 and then place 4 double crochets separated by chain 2 spaces into the next chain 2 space, which will create a total of 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to make a chain of 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, and double crochet into the next chain 2 space. This will bring us to 3 spaces after our increase or peak. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and skip over the next 3 chain 2 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and then into the next, which is the 4th space, you're going to place 1 double crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way around until you come back to the beginning of the round, and I'll show you how to wind up and see how to go from there. Alright, so we've come to the end of round 2. As you can see, we've placed our next 3 chain 2 spaces after the peak. 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and skip over the next 3 chain 2 spaces. So 1, 2, and 3, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the first chain 5 of the round, and that marks the end of round 2. So we're going to repeat round 2 again and again until we have the length of the skirt that we require for our maxi skirt or mini skirt. So this skirt can be made to any length. So you're going to just keep working until you get your desired length. So remember, we start our round by slip stitching twice into the first chain 2 space, slip stitch once into the next double crochet, slip stitch once into the next chain 2 space, and then chain 5. After a chain of 5, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, and then into the next space you're going to place your peak. 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet, all in the same space. Chain 2, double crochet into the next, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain 2 space. Once you have 3 spaces, 3 chain 2 spaces after the increase, 1, 2, 3, you make a chain of 2 and skip over the next 3 chain 2 spaces, 1, 2, and 3, and into the 4th you're going to place a double crochet. So keep working that all the way around. This is the same exact thing that we did for round 2. So if you're lost, just rewind to round 2 and repeat the same exact process that we did for round 2. And keep working that round until you get your desired length. For the actual skirt, I did a total of 52 rounds in order to get a maxi skirt, but you can do the same exact instructions for a mini skirt or a midi skirt depending on the length that you're going for. So for the actual skirt, I did 52 rounds. Alright guys, so far I have done a total of 8 rounds, but I'm going to demonstrate how to do the decreases. so that the skirt can fit comfortably well around the hips, as you can see in the image on the screen. So you're going to get your measuring tape and measure across your skirt when slightly stretching it. So I have around 20 inches, as you can see here, which is supposed to be the hip circumference. So this skirt will fit comfortably well around the hips. But when it comes to the waist, this is quite big. And the waist circumference I'm considering is 28 inches. And that means I have to have a total of 14 inches across, which is not the case here. So we still have a lot of material towards the side. So what we are going to do is we shall gather two picks together. So you're going to get small strands of yarn. Let me say this one and this one. And we are just going to gather at least 2 points together, or 3 points. So you'll just get two. You see the middle space of the pick and the next pick. Just gather them here and then tie them together. You make a double knot. So that's going to decrease the circumference that we have for the skirt. So this is what you'll create, but it won't show. And this is going to be worked on at the back of the skirt, just to create a better fitting for the skirt. So I'll skip the next pick and then consider the next 2 picks. And then I'll do the same exact thing. So this is optional, but if you want a good fitting around the waist area, this is what you're supposed to do. And then skip the next pick, and then you can consider joining these 2 picks together. And you can see what this is creating. It's bringing the skirt together. You can go ahead and join this one as well. And then you get your measuring tape and measure across the top. And as you can see here, we have a total of 13. When stretched, we can get to 14 inches. Our piece has kind of gathered in. So that's what you have to do for the waist shaping. And that's basically it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.